So, you're looking for a new set of wireless noise cancelling headphones. You've heard a lot about the Sony XM4s, but you can't see yourself spending $350 on a pair of headphones. And then you look over and there, on the shelf, you see these. The Sony CH710N. Sure, they're attractive enough, but at half the price or less of the XM4s, what are you really giving up? And how well do these stand up on their own? Hey folks, Norb here. Today we're looking at the WH-1000X Mark IV's less expensive cousin, the WH-CH710N. You can tell the family resemblance by how awkwardly they're both named. Here are my quick takeaways. These are light with a decent construction, good noise cancelling, excellent battery life, and a decent sound. They also don't have touch controls, just a few well-designed buttons. But they don't have much padding around the ears, which makes them almost unwearable to me after wearing them for a bit. Luckily, you can buy replacement ear pads or earphone covers, and they're easy to put on. I also wish these could be managed using Sony's headphone app. The lack of integration, specifically the lack of any EQ, hampers these a fair amount. These normally sell for $200, but at that price, I would have been a little disappointed. If you're looking for a specific section, be sure to use the bookmarks along the timeline below. Prices change all the time, so I've included affiliate links in the description below to help you with your product search. And if you want to see when these deals come up, follow me on Twitter at NorbReviews, where I frequently post deal alerts to help you find the best possible deal on your purchases. If you find this information useful, please remember to hit the thumbs up icon. And remember to hit subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of new videos. I try to do one about once a week. If you already have, thank you. By the way, I don't have any sponsors and I buy these all out of pocket, which means that I look for sales all the time. Again, hit me up on Twitter. Finally, note that I've made a lot of comparisons to the Sony XM4s in this review. There's a link to that review up here somewhere above my head, but I'll also include a link to the full review in the description. And if you have any comments or questions about either of these, hit me up in the comments below. Shout out to Matt Frame for his comment on my absolute beginner's guide to Codecs video. He says, "Very informative. Thanks for making this video." My pleasure, Matt, and thanks for watching. I love to build a positive knowledge community that includes you, so drop a comment or question below and I may feature it in a future video. With all of that said, let's dive in. In the box, you get the headphones, the USB-A to USB-C charging cable, and a 3.5mm adapter cable. If you're going to travel with these, just consider wearing them all the time or buying a third-party case. All right, going on to looks. Like with other Sony headphones, these have a very plasticky look to them. The padding is the same color as the plastic for a uniform look. All right, moving on to the build, back to the plastic. It's definitely a cheaper plastic than it was used in the XM4s, but it's honestly not bad. Ironically, these feel a little bit sturdier. The surface is a bit rough textured, but that may not matter to you. This is strictly a tactile preference, and to me, they feel fine, not really cheap. They're also light for over-the-ear noise-canceling headphones, coming in at 221 grams or 7.8 ounces. Despite the weight, they are well built and can stand some stress. While using these, they actually feel nice because they are so light. Note that these don't have any sort of water or sweat resistance, so exercise with them at your own risk. These are relatively minimalist, though the buttons here and the ports do interrupt that a little bit. Again, they don't do anything that they don't absolutely need to, and they've made great use of what they put in there. The ports and buttons themselves are well laid out and easy to identify for the most part. There are little tactile bumps to help you navigate by touch. Run right here in the back. You can see that right there where you would put your thumb as you put it back. So there's another one here by the volume up button to show you, okay, well, this is where you start with the button. So these are little minor touches, but they make a big difference. On the right-hand side, we have the active noise canceling button, which cycles between transparency, no active noise canceling, and active noise canceling. We also have the volume up and down buttons, then the multifunction button, which is play, skip to previous or next song, answer calls, hold to launch the voice assistant, it makes julienne fries, whatever it is that you need. On the left, we have the 3.5mm jack, the USB-C charging cable, the power button, and the indicator light. You can also see the mic cutouts on each side, and we have the little indicator here for near field communications, which brings up to the next topic, pairing. These have Bluetooth 5.0, so range and connection speed were both good. Now, for comfort. As good as my experience was with these, comfort is where these really failed me. From a weight perspective, these are great. And I never once felt pinching on the top of my head. I never felt like it was being crushed. It was nice. Sony is very good about that. The headband was excellent and it was padded well enough. The ears, however, were another matter. There's just not a lot of padding. The padding is both thin and not supported, so I definitely felt some ear fatigue. a lot of ear fatigue. Inside the cups too, there's these bumps. And while those are common in other headsets, it was scratchy. It just was not good. The ear heat wasn't ever an issue because I never had them on long enough, honestly. I mean, it's good there was no ear heat in this case, but it's because I kept having to take them off and moving around. Anyway, after about 30 minutes, I had to take a break. I had to take them off or moving off my head or position them in some kind of awkward way. It's just the comfort really from the ear perspective was just not there. Everything else was great. As a note, I have big ears, so maybe that's just a me thing. Maybe if you have smaller ears, these will work better. My wife has used these, for example, and they felt fine to her. The clamping force was good though. It's not heavy at all, and these were very comfortable to wear with glasses. In fact, the glasses actually helped me with the ear issues at times, which is kind of weird. Usually glasses don't help out. Okay, moving on to sound, a quick technical note. These handle both the AAC and SBC Bluetooth codecs. If you have no clue what that means or why that matters, be sure to check out my absolute beginner's guide to Bluetooth codecs. The link should appear somewhere above my head, but I'll also add it to the description below. When using the cable, these have a really great sound, super enjoyable and surprisingly detailed. And there is a good dynamic range. It's not muddy in any particular range, which is good. You know, the mids don't get swallowed up, for example, by the bass, and the highs aren't sibilant. They're not screechy. It's good and even throughout. As a tip, be sure to leave the headphones on while connected via the cable. You can use them connected with the headphones off, and you'll save battery that way, but you'll get a much better sound if they're connected and the headphones are on. When the cable's connected, Bluetooth and the microphone are both turned off. On Bluetooth, things are a little different. First, the sound quality drops enough that it stopped being as enjoyable. Like most of Sony's other wireless noise canceling headphones, the Bluetooth on these runs a little bass heavy, though not as much as the XM4s. The sound can feel muddy at times though, but only slightly so. Overall, the sound signature still remains about the same as the XM4s. Warm and pop music friendly by default. I find Sony's default tuning on these underwhelming. If you want to tweak the sound quality on these, you will need to use a third-party EQing app. These don't connect to Sony's headphones app, which is one of my big complaints here. You really leave a lot on the table by not including that. And it's a shame because, again, once I tuned them a bit, they provided an excellent sound and great bang for the buck. They're not bad on Bluetooth, but I enjoyed them so much more corded that I avoided Bluetooth whenever I could. Overall, I found the active noise canceling on these to be okay. They did well enough with low constant noises like microwaves, but randomized noises got through pretty constantly. So if I was clacking on my keyboard, guess what? That was cutting right through. At $200 and even below, there might be better options out there. On the bright side, I didn't really feel any cabin pressure effect, so that was good. That's always good. When it comes to sound quality, I found the best quality on these to be with the noise canceling on. It just had a better sound overall. When it comes to battery life, these advertise 35 hours on Bluetooth and with active noise canceling on. These have a quick charge and you can get 60 minutes of music in 10 minutes. However, you can't listen to these while they charge. You also don't have to worry about turning active noise canceling off with these before you turn them on. On cheaper sets, the active noise canceling will zap energy from the battery if it's left on, even if the headphones are off. With these, active noise canceling turns off when you turn the unit off. As for phone calls, these feature an all-directional condenser mic. They'll sound good, but they will pick up everything, so don't use them in a noisy environment. Still, in a quiet environment, these were great. Call quality was overall decent, though again, room noise and echo definitely made its way through to whoever I was calling. A note on my review scores. I'm switching things up for a bit, so if you see my other videos, let me know if this new format works for you. I'm going from 1 to 5. 1 means I hate it, 2 means I don't like it, 3 means it's okay, 4 means I like it, and 5 means I love it. Now to our categories, starting with looks. 3 out of 5. They're nothing special, but they're not bad. Understated, not gaudy. Build, 3.5 out of 5. The physical build quality itself is not bad, but I expected more, and there are other companies who do better at this same price point. Although they can take stress, they have a rough feeling plastic that I wasn't necessarily crazy about. At 221 grams or 7.8 ounces, these are light and sturdy enough, though I wouldn't necessarily toss these in a bag without some kind of extra protection. Some level of sweat resistance would have also been nice, but the easily replaceable ear pads are a great and necessary consideration by Sony. Comfort, 2 out of 5. This is a tough one for me. On one hand, the clamping force and the weight make these extremely comfortable to wear for long periods. On the other hand, the ear pads were really bad for me, and the bumps inside the earphone made these painful to wear. They were good with glasses, so that's a bonus. And there was no ear heat. But the ear fatigue was intense and turned these from a pair of headphones that I could have loved into one that I, at best, tolerated. Sound quality, 4 out of 5. Ultimately, these were way better than I expected. While they didn't have the definition of Sony's higher-end headphones, the overall sound quality was fairly neutral. With Bluetooth only, these are about what I would expect. With the auxiliary cable though, these were excellent. I highly recommend using these with a cable whenever possible. Features, 4 out of 5. These really don't have any extra features outside of what's on the headphones themselves, which is fine. Simple as good. And one button access to your smart assistant, that's a big plus. Interaction design, 5 out of 5. Interactions on these were extremely well thought out, and details like touch points on the headphones made a huge difference. Active noise canceling, 3 out of 5. It's not all that great. It's not terrible, and it's really what I've come to expect from a $200 set that's routinely sold for about half that. Software, 0 out of 5. Technically, it's not applicable because there is no software, but these could have been much better with access to Sony's headphones app, even if it is just for the equalizer. So I'm dinging them for that. Battery life and charging, 3.5 out of 5. At 35 hours, these will keep you going for a long time. The quick charge of 60 minutes of music for 10 minutes of charge isn't all that impressive, but it's good to have. The battery management works well too, and I appreciate the use of USB-C. It does get half a point knocked off because you can't use them while charging. Overall score, 3 out of 5. They're okay. For $200, these are largely underwhelming, but you can find them frequently for under $130, and for that, these are an excellent value if you find them comfortable. Moving on to other options. If you're considering bumping things up, take a look at the Sony WH-1000X Mark III. Not the XM4, but the XM3, which you should be able to find for about the same price, $200. If you can't, try to find the WH-XB900, which have a similar sound profile, or try the WH-XB900N if you want something with a little bit more bass. For the same $200 price tag, check out the Sennheiser PXC 550 Mark IIs, the Razer Opus, or the Beats Solo 3. If you are considering a budget option and you can't find these for $100, check out the Sennheiser HD 350 BT or the Soundcore by Anchor Life Q30 or Q35. Now for the big question, should you buy these? Heck, for that matter, would I buy these? My first big caveat is this: if you buy these, tweak them. First, no, I wouldn't get them for $200. For $200, these are fine if you're in a hurry, but really they're underwhelming and I can't recommend them for that price. I would find them on sale for under $130, maybe a little more if the seller is throwing a hard case along with them. For example, I've seen them on Amazon on a regular basis for $150, but the seller includes a hard case with them. That's a fine deal. I'd go for that. Next, I'd buy a pair of replacement ear pads. Geekria, for example, sells these for $22. They are easy to replace. Take them off, put them back on. That's it. No glue, no unscrewing things, nothing. And if you don't want to do that, at the very least, you can go ahead and do what I've been doing and just put some fabric covers on them. Geekria sells those too. Sure, they cover the buttons, but they're super comfortable. Second, I'd find a good third-party EQ. For this, I've been using the Boom EQ app for iOS. I tried it for a week, I liked it, and then I waited for a sale on their lifetime subscription, and that's when I picked it up. I've put links to all of these in the description below. Note that none of these companies have contacted me or sponsored me at all. Geekria, boom, let's talk. I would avoid these entirely if you have big ears and if you don't plan on tweaking them. To me, these were sometimes outright painful due to the weak, thin cushioning. My giant ears hurt just thinking about this. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you've tried these, or if you have them, I'm sure I'm not the only one who would love to read about your experiences in the comments below. Also, if you have any questions, hit me up here or on Twitter. If you found this video useful, please remember to hit the thumbs up button and remember to subscribe for more videos like these. With that, until next time.